boy, it's been a long time. Oh my gosh. Well, it's been a few minutes since last I posted a fresh new video in which I get to talk directly to you. Um, yeah, I've just been busy doing teaching and a lot of good things. My schedule changed a bit from summer going into fall, so I haven't had a chance to carve out the time to do videos like I was doing before. So I have to make a few changes in order to get this in and continue to come at you guys and say hi and hopefully bring some content that you can use as well. Of course, I did post the couple of performance videos as well, so I hope you enjoyed that. Me at the piano, and as well as the live performance at Campus Marches, which was fun. But anyway, the very first thing I'd like to do is to thank my new subscribers. Mwah, mwah. Thank you for joining me, and welcome. And I hope you can find some things that you can use, some things that are positive and enjoyable on my channel. So welcome. Let's see. That was the first thing I definitely wanted to do. Second of all, I thought I'd go ahead and give you another quick tip, vocal quick tip today. And that has to do with same old redundant statement about breathing. I'm always harping on breathing, right? Well, today I specifically wanted to deal with what happens when we get nervous. Dun, dun, dun. This is whether or not you're using your voice in front of an audience, or just nervous, period. Just nervous about anything. When we get nervous, what happens if you pause to pay attention is that we start to breathe in a more shallow manner. And just to remind you, breathing shallow, of course, means that you are not taking deep breaths down into the stomach, the lower stomach, the abdomen, down into the diaphragm. Why do I talk like this? Because I'm talking about the diaphragm? I have no idea. Anyway, so if you're not breathing from down there, a very, very deep breath, then you're more likely taking breaths that tend to be more shallow. So shallow breaths oftentimes mean that it may mean you're filling your lungs, which is very good, but that's not as deep a breath as you could possibly get. And lots of things happen when we breathe more in a more shallow manner. So what are some of the things that happen when we breathe in a more shallow manner? If you are singing and you're using your voice for melodies and harmonies and all those wonderful things, sometimes what tends to happen is, of course, as you might expect, you can't hold the notes as long as you would like to. And as a result, you don't feel as in control of your phrasing. And of course, phrasing means lots of things, but it can mean things like when you pause, whether or not you hold a particular note longer or shorter, how you emphasize certain notes, certain words, etc. So all of that has to do with phrasing. You're less in control of that when you don't have as much breath to work with, of course. So those things can happen as a result of shallow breathing. Another thing that can happen is your intonation can be off. And by intonation, what we're usually talking about is your ability to be in tune, to stay in tune, to make sure that your ear is helping you to stay on point so that you're not going too sharp or too flat. And I would say, just as a general rule, maybe not in every case, but as a general rule, if you are breathing in a more shallow manner, you might tend to go sharp on your notes rather than more flat, but it can go either way. So those are some of the things that can sort of trip us up, mess us up, if we're not pausing, taking the time to make sure that we are calming down from our nervousness, or even using those nerves in a good way or in a positive way, as far as instead of hindering your performance, where you find yourself breathing more and more shallow and kind of cutting your breath off, but rather using it in a positive way, where you take those nerves and you find psychological ways to put it into your performance, put it into your voice, put the nerves into your voice, put them into your voice. And it can almost like electrify your performance even more so. So it can go either way. Those nerves can be a hindrance, or they can really help boost your performance with that extra spark, that extra adrenaline. Another thing as far as breathing in a shallow way that being nervous can contribute to. Another aspect of that is for those of us who may not be singing. Let's say that you are speaking. I know I've got some public speakers out there who tune in sometimes. You may be speaking to an audience, whether it's lecture format, whether it's public speaking where you are encouraging others, or perhaps you're doing a spoken word performance like poetry, things like that, or rap. In that case, or in those circumstances, shallow breathing, of course, can get in the way if you're not careful, because again, you don't have as much control over what you're doing. You may find yourself taking more and more quicker and quicker breaths and not getting through even your spoken phrases nearly with the fluidity or as fluently as you would like to. There's definitely, we know, rhythmic cadences that you want to hit when you're speaking, and it can be just harder to do that when you are not utilizing all the breath at your disposal. So another thing that can happen too real quickly is, I don't know if you've ever had this happen to you. It's happened to me when I've been involved in public speaking, where I start to hyperventilate. Like, you don't realize how much you've really been breathing in a shallow manner sometimes until you're maybe halfway through or already in the midst of your performance or your conversation, and then you're like, oh gosh, I don't have as much breath as I should have. Well, sometimes that can lead to hyperventilation. You want to be careful about that. But the remedy in all of those cases is, I would say, combination psychological, because I'm a psychologist, but no, even if I wasn't, combination psychological approach, combination physical approach. Psychologically, you want to make sure that your self-talk is always encouraging, that you're boosting yourself up. I can handle this. It will be fine. Things like that. If you have negative self-talk, it's just like with any other part of life. You can torpedo your performance. You can hinder yourself even more. So if you find there's two things. First of all, prior to performing or speaking, you want to practice positive self-talk. Practice what you're saying, what you're going to say, kind of when you're going over it, when you're rehearsing it. Make sure that you stay conscious to begin with those nice, slow, deep breaths, so that you're in the habit of it, basically. So that's the prior to. And then during the performance, if you do find yourself getting real shallow in your breathing, you find yourself even hyperventilating like I've done a couple of times, every once or twice. Same that you can still just recover from it. Take a moment. You may even need to step away from the mic, let your band play, or recover your breath. If you're not able to do that and it's just you up there, you can, if you're speaking, just take a moment. Hopefully you have water by you. It's a good idea to keep water by you, and say just a moment, take a little sip and continue. So yeah, that's the psychological part, and then the physical part is to just slow everything down and just take a deep breath, or 2 or 3 or 5, and you don't want to alarm your audience like they think you're about to pass out, but you can discreetly just take deep breaths, and you can do it by in a way, I should say, that allows the performance to continue. Okay, so anyway, that's my that's the video for today. My quick tip. It's good to get back to filming. I've missed it. I've missed sharing wonderful things with you guys, and I'll have more for you. Hopefully, Lord willing, I will not take quite as much time off from filming. I don't plan to. I plan to be back involved in doing this on a more regular basis, and make sure that my busy schedule doesn't get in the way of me doing that. So I've got more great information coming for you. I know I've been talking about recording my second album for 2 years or so, off and on, but that's just a little piece of news as well. I'm back in, going into the studio again with my band, my group. So just about my entire album has been written for a while now, actually a little while. I'm just finishing up some things, some finishing touches, and we're now recording, I would say, in a little bit more earnest. So we just got a few things back in the fire again, and moving forward. So I'm happy about that. I hope you all are doing well and staying healthy. If I don't, I plan to make another video before Thanksgiving. I've got a couple weeks until then. So if I don't, however, if I don't talk to you until after Thanksgiving, everyone have a blessed and safe holiday, but take care of yourself regardless. God bless. Take care of your voice as well. And remember that you are a wonderful jewel in creation, and you should share your wonderful gifts with the world, for the rest of us. Okay, thanks so much. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Feel free to comment and let me know if there are some specific things you'd like for me to talk about in addition. And I invite you to subscribe also. Take care, and God bless.